Christy had some sort of, and she might develop a reputation. The first time she's on this podcast, one of the first things she says is, I have diarrhea. So leading up to this trip, she had diarrhea. But she had-
Well, you didn't have to.
She had gotten it under, well, it plays into what happened.
Okay.
So yeah, I do have to say it.
All right.
And with her permission. But she is developing a reputation as the diarrhea woman. She had gotten it under control. It kind of subsided in the 2 days leading up to our trip. And then we're driving the 5.5-hour drive to Big Sur. And we stop at Pismo Beach. You remember in 2008 for the Great American Road Trip, we were
World's largest clam.
We were trying to make a song called The World's Largest Song, which is basically just footage of us in front of the world's largest tourist trap stuff, which we drove way out of our way to go to Pismo Beach.
The Pez Museum was also there though, wasn't it?
That was outside of San Francisco in Burlingame.
Same trip.
Burlingame, and then, matter of fact, there's a place north of there called Castroville that has the world's largest artichoke. You remember going there?
Yeah.
I remember we did our Thursday night Rhett&Link cast live from the RV with very sketchy internet.
Yeah.
From the parking lot of the world's largest artichoke, which is basically just like a paper mache / concrete artichoke edifice on the side of a diner.
Which also the world's largest clam is also just a concrete thing. I mean, these are not
that says, welcome
things.
to Pismo Beach. So I'm like, Christy, I've been here. And so then it was lunchtime, so we stopped. We found a highly rated place right on the beach. We were able to like watch the surf, and we ate this like lobster crab roll. And then we get back in the car, and Christy's like, I'm not feeling good. I think some urgency is returning.
Oh wow.
And I need some more medicine. So we're like going to get some anti-diarrheal medicine. And
trip really started off with a bang.
This is great. I mean, cause you think about, all right, we're gonna get to this, she was okay, but there was like rumblings.
Right.
You know, when you're on that road trip and you get the rumbles, that's a little disconcerting.
And I mean, I'm assuming that you guys are, I mean, you've actually talked about this, but like, and we're the same way. It's like when you're on vacation and you're married with children, you get to the hotel room and it's
first thing you want to do is take a liquid shit. No, it's not. Exactly, you want to get it on. Right. You want to break in that cabin. You want to just bend it over and like tell that cabin to submit.
Where is a cabin so involved?
You got to get the oh yeah, it's every part. You involve every part of the cabin.
You might have to hold on to the wall or something.
Everything. Yeah, hold on to those antlers. There were no antlers. I mean, we do get there. By the time we got there, she's like texting the doctor's office because she had read this thing about like how raw onions.
There was a salmonella outbreak.
A salmonella outbreak.
Nationwide, like 37 states.
And she was pretty convinced that that's what was happening.
Yeah.
And so we get there and yeah, there's no like walking into the cabin and getting it going. It's like
unless it's a bathroom trip.
Hey, heated floors. You don't want anything to land on those heated floors because I guess it would start to cook.
Okay, God.
You don't want to hear a sizzle from the other room. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. That didn't happen, and the floor wasn't that hot. It was just warm, for the record. But we finally get there, and I had, after we left there, and she was feeling bad and she's like on the phone with the doctor and trying to like troubleshoot this salmonella stuff if that's what's been going on with her. I'm like, grab that cold brew out of the back because we're not gonna stop for me to have the coffee that I need at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I just drank I pulled over on the side of the road. I drank a cold brew while Christy sat in the car and took an anti-nausea pill because then that was happening on these like curvy PCH roads.
Cause the thing I didn't know about that area is there's nothing to stop at. I mean,
there's pull off so you can like look at scenery, and that's the beauty of Big Sur.
Oh, this is a little town. Oh, is there a restaurant here? Is there a place that we can get a cup of coffee? Like, you'll go very long stretches with nothing.
Nothing.
It's pristine, but you don't really you got to bring this stuff with you.
I didn't want her vomiting from being car sick as well as everything else we established. So I gave her 20 minutes in sitting in the car
that's a rough road.
While I downed my cold brew. And then a couple hours later, by the time we get there, I'm like, man, I'm feeling bad too. I'm feeling like super wired, like I drank way too much cold brew and I felt absolutely horrible. Like my head was spinning, I hadn't eaten anything. Like I was also a little car sick, she was sick.
You guys aren't even gonna be able to make it.
This is a great start to our Big Sur trip.
You specialize in good starts to trips though.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
The doctor called in just out of safety, called in antibiotic, but we had to drive another hour and a half north, now in the dark, to Carmel. We had to drive all the way to Carmel. In order to find the nearest
pharmacy,
Rite Aid, CVS, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So she goes up there and like she gets her anti-diarrheal stuff and she gets her prescription medications, and I'm like plopping down a couple of enemas. I'm like, we've got opposite problems here.
Good Lord.
Cold brew doesn't clean me out. When I travel, I can't get anything going. So we're like bookends on a sad bookshelf here. I mean, this is our first night.
This is, just so you know, I mean, this is probably how every vacation is gonna start 20 years from now, but you're just getting an early start to it.
I bought 4 of those enemas and I'm just gonna have to carry them with me like a gunslinger from now on. Just like, I gotta get holsters for these things every time I travel. We got the stuff in her system and we got the stuff out of my system.
Wow.
And
man, you guys just need to get together.
But it was like, you know what? Tonight's just a wash. Let's forget it.
And hopefully we did wash.
We did wash, and we just started, start over with a clean slate in the morning. We woke up both feeling better. Her issues were behind her.
You're not even trying.
We went back to the place that you guys had recommended that we had been before called Nepenthe, or it's right on the coast. Yeah. It's like there's a bookstore and a restaurant, and you sit on the back of the restaurant and you just look at
beautiful view.
Look at the ocean. It's absolutely amazing. We saw an amazing sunset, and we were like talking to the waiter, like making friends, laughing louder than anybody else there. You know, again, like I said last episode, it's just like feeling in the zone, feeling like, whoa, look, we're having the most fun. We're connecting. We're like, it feels like we're on our honeymoon again. And we're watching this beautiful sunset. And I look over at Christy's purse, and it had been up on we were sitting at a bar so we could both sit shoulder to shoulder and watch the sunset. Like that was the best seat in the house. And up on that bar, her bag was like open. And it turns out something was spilling out of it, and every time that anyone walked by, or the person sitting right beside Christy on the other side could definitely see that she had a huge box of anti-diarrheal medication just out there in front of everybody. And Christy's like putting it away at the end of our whole meal, after being there for like 2 hours. And we're like talking to the guy about it. He's like, yeah, I saw that, but I didn't want to say anything. So it's, even though, I don't know, it just wouldn't leave us. Like the diarrhea was a specter.
Well, yeah, well, you need to be ready.